I am trying to.
Okay, we're ready.
Okay. Oh.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Weekend Eve. This is Brian Kress, the Awesome Voice. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW. It is Chiefs night, and I'm telling you what, I am stoked. I am massively stoked. Anyway, Coach 24, Darwin Penny, my brother with another mother. He is not here again tonight. He is venturing out, doing scouting, and hitting one of those few states that he has not ventured through in his life. He is taking one more down, and he is getting closer to achieving all 50 of them. And behind the scenes, running the show, DJ Scatter, George Walker. Mr. Walker, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing just fine, doing great.
Oh, that's awesome. We apologize for running a little behind. We just wanted to make sure everything was running great, so we didn't have any setbacks. And on the phone and getting ready to discuss sports with me is the guy that has On the Record podcast that I do with him, and it's on Spotify, and his name is Mr. Marvin Durant. Mr. Durant, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing quite well, Brian. Got my popcorn here, my beverages, getting ready for a little Chiefs football.
Oh, that's awesome. That is great. So we've had some people on the show the last couple of weeks, and we will discuss them more later. But right now, we're going to discuss Royals baseball. So Shane Allen, who was on the show last week, he calls me up, asked me if I want to go to the Royals game yesterday, and I was like, I'm at work, and it was a rough day because I had been off a few days, and I've done nothing but golf. So my golf game has improved a little bit. And on Tuesday, Willie Akins and we played against David and Max Gershon, and we actually played really well. Willie didn't have to carry me. We shot a 78 on Tuesday. So I am completely impressed with that. Yeah, I am just super excited. We only had one double.
Ladies
bogey.
and gentlemen, welcome to the best.
So, but
You're improving, I mean, you are improving.
yeah, I hope so because I'm getting older. It ain't gonna help me getting older, so I need to do it now while I got the chance. Anyway, real quick, right behind me is the flag that says the Chiefs back-to-back champions 2022-2023. I put it up tonight for that, and I am wearing my Creed Humphrey jersey, and the reason why I'm wearing that is because I purchased it today from a friend of mine who I deliver mail to, and he had a garage sale, and he gave me a heck of a deal on it, so I said I got to take it, and so I am wearing it tonight. Plus, we just signed him to a 3-year deal, but we're going to talk more about that later. But anyway, so Shane asked me to go to the game, and I was like, absolutely, I want to go to the game. The Royals have been struggling. They lost a season-high 7 games in a row. With Pasquantino out, they only scored 1 run through the first 6 innings in all those games combined. They were batting a Petrie 120. I don't think they even scored more than two runs in any of those games, and they had 2 home runs and 149 at-bats. So we go to the game, and I'm just hoping that the Royals will snap out of this because I was really, really, really worried. Lugo pitches. He pitches lights out. 7 innings, 1 run, 6 hits. I think he struck out only 3 batters, but he kept it in the park. He pitched well. He went into the 7th inning. Bubik came in, pitched the 8th inning, and Irsay pitched the 9th, got the save. I'm telling you, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's about time that the Royals broke that losing streak. Not the best of times to have a streak like that, and of course, what happened to Vinny is extremely saddening. But the good thing about it, the other teams behind us, they act like they don't want to overcome us. Boston's not doing well. The Twins are not doing well. And considering what we lost 7 out of 8 and the fact that we are still holding on to the third wild card position, that we're still not that far away from the top of the leaderboard in the Central Division, speaks highly for what's going on in the Central Division. So we are certainly not out of the woods at all about anything.
Yes, absolutely. When we started the slump, well, actually we lost to Cleveland, so we dropped one game after we had tied them in the third game of the Cleveland Royals series. And then we played Houston that Friday night. Pasquantino gets hurt. Urseg gets hurt. And everything, it just seemed like it fell apart. And I'm telling you what, I thought, okay, this is Murphy's Law. This was supposed to happen. This is the end of the season and everything else. And I thought we were done. And Boston said, oh, no, you guys are not done. We're playing worse than you guys are. So, and they're making the New York Mets look awesome right now, because New York Mets are now back in the playoff hunt.
Yes, and actually, the Mets are the best team in New York right now.
Oh, there you go. Absolutely. So, well, we hope that happens, because we do play New York, and I believe we play New York, the Yankees, on 9/11. I believe that's that Monday.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Yes. So Shane. So anyway, Shane. So we're going to the game. He tells me he's going to New York. So he is going to that 9/11 game in New York. So lucky him. I wish I was going with him, but you have fun, my friend, and enjoy it. And hopefully he will post some pictures or something. But anyway, the Royals, which really look like, okay, their season is over. Everybody's, it's kind of that kid that started improving and everything, and then he tripped and fell, and they were like, yep, same old kid. Well, that's what they were thinking about the Royals. Well, the Royals got back, and now they have a crucial 3-game series starting tomorrow against the Minnesota Twins. And to me, this will we've got 21 games left, so these 3 games can't make us or break us, but it can give us a parameter of where we're going. So if we can beat the Twins at least 2 out of 3, because we have not beaten the Twins hardly at all, if ever, this year, because we have just totally struggled. But if we can do well against the Twins, we've got it going. And my mind thought, along with everybody else, is going to change and go, okay, all right, now they're back in it. We're watching and we're enjoying it too. So definitely, because I believe they also have 9 more games. So after these 3 games with Minnesota, they've only got 2 more series, and then they will end their road or their home record, and then they will finish the season, I think, with 2 series on the road. So.
Yeah, I know they have to go play Atlanta. I think Atlanta is the last series of the year, and they play Pittsburgh as well.
Right, and San Francisco, but I think we play San Francisco at home. I know we play the 2 teams back-to-back, and I know it was San Francisco, and I thought it was maybe Atlanta. I know they were. Oh no, it's the Washington Nationals. That's who they play. They play the Giants and Nationals, and then they finish with the Pirates and the Braves. So we still have it going. In fact,
have some winnable games. Winnable games. We might have some trouble with the Braves. They're battling some injuries right now, but outside of that, again, very easily we could do 2 out of 3 in all of those series.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, we can, we still have destiny in our hands. As long as we're winning, we're in the playoffs. And then if we can beat Minnesota and overtake them, then we can get that 2nd seed. To be perfectly honest, I don't think we're going to get the number 1 seed, which more than likely will go to the Yankees or the Orioles. I don't think Cleveland is playing well enough that they can overtake either one of those teams. But they may still end up winning the division. The Royals are going to have to get hot before they got Vinny injured and all the downside going on. But if long as we can keep winning, and I'm still saying our gauntlet that we're still in the middle of the 20 games, and I believe we're like 5-7 right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
and that's not terribly bad. I mean, it could be better, obviously, but it could be totally worse.
right, absolutely. Well, because I said if we go 15-5, we're automatically in. If we go 10-10, we're a solid shot to get in. But if we're 5-15, we're out. So that means if we go 5-15, that means they will have to lose the next 8 games. And I hope that they don't do that. I'm hoping that they finally start getting their bats going. Lugo, who had struggled a little bit, he became our number one ace, and he pitched aces last night. I was really impressive with that. And there was 14,000 that came out last night after losing 7 in a row. At least we got 14,000 on a Wednesday night. And I know, yes, it was only 14,000, but 2 days prior we had 30,000. So I mean,
Right.
we had roughly 56,000 for a 3-game series. That averages to 19,000, each game. So that is, I'm good with that. I am pleased with the fans. We just got to get it going, and I know now with the Chiefs playing tonight, which is the reason why that the Kansas City Royals are not playing, because they walked across the street to go to the Chiefs game so they can see arguably the best game of the year. So
Without a doubt. Yeah, you said they've been averaging about 25 or so. Well, those extra 10,000 people were resting last night because they're over across the parking lot right now at the Chiefs game.
yeah, absolutely. So let's hope that they can kick it in, that the bats will go. Tommy Pham, I mean, he's been playing pretty decent, but he finally got his first home run against or wearing a Royals uniform, and I'm telling you what, he clocked it. He did not hit it. He did not hit it in the air. It was like a guided missile, and it went right over into the Sonic area. So all those people were happy too, because they got a $5 loadable gift card. So. Which I wish I was sitting there just so I could get one, but I didn't. But that's okay, because I've got my Chick-fil-A. So
Sounds good. Well, I tell you, J.J. Piccolo has done a great job with trades and looking at the waiver wire. I mean, obviously, Paul DeYoung, he's a great addition to the club. Considering where he was this year as a member of the White Sox. And Tommy Pham, he's kind of a fan favorite wherever he goes.
yes,
And he's the type of guy who, he's very emotional. And trust me, if someone would hit one of our batters, he'll be the first guy out of the dugout ready to rumble.
absolutely. So, and then Yuri, we got him in a trade for Atlanta. Now, people are wondering, how can you trade when the trade deadline ended July 31st? Well, here's the reason why. He was in the minor leagues, and you can trade for a minor league player. You can't trade for a major league player. So just for a sense, you can't trade Bobby Witt Jr. for Aaron Judge. You can't do that because the trade deadline had expired. But in a minor league, you can trade for somebody. So when we were struggling, and we needed some help, absolutely. JJ Piccolo, as you were saying, man, he was lights out. He was on it. He was checking out who we could get. You got Robbie Grossman. We got Pham. We got Yurley. We got some hitters. So. And I'm not expecting them to replace Vinny, but at least they got in there and they have contributed. Tommy contributed in the win last night. And here was the thing. Those 4 runs were the most runs that we've had in a while, and it was the 2nd through 5th runs that we scored before the 6th inning since Vinny got hurt last Friday.
Right. So I mean, we're on our way back. Hunter Renfro, I understand. I think last night went on a rehab assignment down in Northwest Arkansas. He may be back this weekend. So we're beginning to get healthy, along with the new players. And again, these guys are not world beaters, but they are good stopgap guys, and that's what you need. And in a perfect time for them to begin their Royals tenure as we're kind of going down the stretch. So it's going to be very interesting, and we'll certainly see what manager Matt Quatrero, how he handles all of that. And obviously, condolences going out to him for the loss of his mom. I know it's been a very trying week for him, but I think, looking at what he has done this year, how he has handled not only the pitching staff but the batting rotation. Certainly, he should be in contention for manager of the year.
I still think he should have it. If anybody else gets it, I think that's absolutely wrong. The only way I would say somebody else maybe is if the Detroit Tigers just totally light it up down the stretch and move past Minnesota and Kansas City and gets at least the second spot, maybe. But other than that, and look, I just lost my father a couple of months ago, so I understand what he is going through, and that is rough. And for him to have such a public job where you could be the king one night and the goat, the bad goat, the next, I mean, I give him props. And so my condolences to him and his family too. So we are nearing the end of the first half, but I just wanted to make this announcement. So Max Gershon, who's been on Gershon, his grandfather, David, who I have been golfing with actually since April, so we've been just totally kicking it and having fun. I want to read this announcement that he has. Now, the Ban Johnson League has been in existence for almost 100 years. So, David Gershon is the general manager for the North Kansas City Giants of the Summer Collegiate Baseball program in the Ban Johnson League since 2002, so 22 years. The league has been in existence for nearly 100 years. Currently, we have 12 teams and play all of our games in Parkville, Missouri, and the Creekside Complex. Our league starts the last week of May and will conclude around July 24th. Our All-Star game is played each year at the K, and I do know that one for sure because I have gone to a few of them. I am looking for a new manager and up to 2 coaches. The only qualifications are that my new staff love the game as much as I do. I can lead and manage, or the person interested can lead and manage and have the ability to recruit college players who live in or close enough to get to our games. We play doubleheaders on Monday and Wednesday evenings starting at 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. You can call managers and coaches are compensated. If interested, you can call David Gershon at 816-918-1948 or contact me, the Awesome Voice, and I can relay the number to you for him. He will interview. So you have to be interviewed. All the candidates that are interested in the position. It is a collegiate league, but if a senior in high school has the tools to compete against college players, we can sign them. So anyway, I told David that I would do that for him, and so we got that. And then I was talking about his grandson, Max, who had been on our show a couple of times. He is a recipient of the Dan Patrick School of Sportscasting. And with this, last Thursday, we didn't have him on the show. We had Shane Allen. But there was also another reason why he was not on the show. He was being introduced to join the Northwest Kansas radio station as a morning sports talk show host, covering all Kansas City, Denver, and Nebraska sports. And he thanks Dan Patrick and Stat Talent for helping him get his first full-time gig at the age of 20. So, I mean, 20 years old, and he's already doing a morning sports show. That is amazing. Max, I applaud you for that. It is not easy to do. Of course it's not easy to do. And I could not have done it without everyone who has helped me get along along the way. So I'm thinking that he didn't come on my show. Somebody didn't see him. And I think his agent probably saw our show and saw how awesome that was. And so, of course, he called him. So, but I'm just kidding because obviously it was not me. But I was glad that I could help contribute with that. So he was going to come on the show tonight, and he was going to talk about how he got on and everything else. But he is with family tonight because he will be leaving this weekend to go to KUAW, Kansas, which is roughly about 30. I know it's 5.5 hours away from Kansas City, and I want to say it is like half an hour to an hour from the Colorado border. So I wish I could go out there with him. So, but anyway, it is all good. So I just wanted to thank Max and appreciate him coming on the show, and I am glad that he was able to get on and get a good sports experience doing the morning show, and I can see great things for him. And with that, we are at halftime on Any Given Sunday on KUAW. DJ Scatter, George Walker behind the scenes, Coach 24. I am Brian Crest, the Awesome Voice, with my guest, Marvin Durant. Sorry about that, Marvin. Marvin Durant with our show On the Record on Spotify podcast. And we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, I think we're going to talk a little football because I think there is a game going on. So we will get back with you guys shortly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the best sports show in Kansas City. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW Radio, where sports come alive. Join your hosts, the Awesome Voice, and Coach 24, as they dive into the latest sports news, analysis, and excitement. From the biggest games to the most thrilling moments, they've got it all covered. So sit back, relax, and get ready for an hour of unbeatable sports action. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW Radio. ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the best sports show in Kansas City. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW Radio, where sports come alive. Join your hosts, the awesome voice, and Coach 24 as they dive into the latest sports news, analysis, and excitement. From the biggest games to the most thrilling moments, they've got it all covered. So sit back, relax, and get ready for an hour of unbeatable sports action. This is Any Given Sunday on KUAW Radio.
Brian Cress, the Austin 24. Darwin Penny is in Montana, actually. So, and we've got DJ Scatter, George Walker, and we've got guests who does a podcast called On the Record, Marvin Durant. Marvin, are you back? Marvin, can you hear me? Marvin. Marvin?
Marvin, can you hear us?
Marvin? Marvin? I don't know. So this is a little odd. So anyway, so let me get back into it. Anyway, so if you haven't seen earlier, I have my flag, the back-to-back champions. I think this one I'm going to give to my mom. She may want a newer one, but anyway, so I got this for her and, of course, me. So anyway, we've got tonight's game. We've got Kansas City versus Baltimore at Arrowhead, and I'm telling you what, to me, this is going to be the best game of the year. Now, I know it's the beginning of the year. A lot of times, a lot of mistakes happen. You can't judge. Well, no, you can, because the Chiefs are doing well, and Baltimore was the best team in the regular season last year, and the Chiefs were the best team in the playoffs. So, oh, hey, are you back?
I am.
Oh,
I couldn't hear you for a minute, but somehow the magic of radio appeared.
oh, there we go. I am happy because we kept calling and we were like, hello.
Oh, wow.
And so everybody,
I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
But we're back.
I don't know, because I was, people are looking at me and I'm saying, hello. And they're like, who in the heck is that he's talking to? He's by himself. So anyway, so let's get back. So Chiefs are playing roughly in about 40 minutes. In roughly about 40 minutes, 20 after
7:20 kickoff time.
7:20 kickoff time, so roughly 43 minutes. And I'm telling you what, I think this is the best game of the year. I think these two teams will play again in the AFC Championship game. And right now, I am picking still the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. They will go three-peat. Somebody is going to have to take it away from them. They're not going to give it up. They are too good. I mean, last year was the best example of how everybody could have taken it from the Chiefs, because they were just virtually, to a point, putting it on a silver platter and just said, here, come and get it. And then
last year was the year for anyone to beat the Chiefs. It was last year, and everyone missed the window.
Oh, absolutely. So, and I really, truly believe that the offense is going to be much better. I'm not sure if the defense is going to be much better, but but if it stays the same, I'm happy with that. But I think the offense is going to be a lot more open. It's going to have a little more firepower until they show me that they can really light it up, like they did with Tyreek Hill and everything. And I know people still said, well, why did we get rid of Tyreek Hill? Well, because we only won 2 Super Bowls since he left. And how many playoff games has he won since he left Kansas City? I think 1 game, maybe.
Yes.
So anyway, But I think that the offense is going to open up. Patrick Mahomes was livid about the performance of him and his offense last year. You know he's not going to do that 2 years in a row. And I remember still that second half of the AFC Championship game against Cincinnati where he just totally just fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is human. It happens. I am not going to see that happen. And he does not do it 2 times in a row because the next year he performed much better. And with this, he is going to perform much better this year. So I'm saying that they're going to have to come and take it from him because he ain't giving it away.
That is true. These guys are ready for a three-peat. They were ready for a three-peat about 15 minutes after they won the Super Bowl in February. They were ready to three-peat. If you take a look at the offense, in terms of the passing attack, you got 2 tiers. You got your deep tier, which consists of Rice, consists of Worthy, consists of Hollywood Brown. That's the deep. Then you have the intermediate, the possession receivers. That's Justin Watson. That's Juju Smith-Schuster. That's McCole Hardman. And, of course, he'll be a part of those gadget plays. And you can put Travis Kelce part of that. And if you mix that in, combined with Isaiah Pacheco, and then Samari Pirine at the third down back, basically taking over the Jerick McKinnon role. And then you have Carson Steele, the undrafted rookie from UCLA. He's going to be, quote-unquote, fullback, kind of replacing the sausage Anthony Sherman. Or he can be that guy that you need for 31, 32, which is an area that the Chiefs have not done well in recent years.
Yeah, if you can pinpoint one of the Chiefs' weaknesses, because really in the last 6 years they really haven't had a weakness. Yes, they had the offensive line issue in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay, but that was one game when the offensive line finally just started breaking down. But the one weakness you could say, even with Sherman there, they could not pick up 1 or 2 yards. They had a better chance at getting 3rd and 10 than they could 3rd and 1. And hopefully Carson Steele will take over and take that role and make that something that is no longer a detriment to the Chiefs and make it a strength.
That is true. And also, I don't know whether you mentioned this when I was not on the line, but the Chiefs did sign the tight end Noah Gray to a new contract, 3 years, $18 million deal.
Yes, I did see that just before I left to come to the show tonight, but I didn't have a chance to see anything. All I just saw was Noah Gray. They signed him to an extension. Now I'm wearing Creed Humphrey's jersey because they signed him to a 3-year, $82 million contract.
And just contract for a center in the NFL. I know Jason Kelsey's saying, "You did this after I leave."
Well, if he would have stayed in, they probably would have signed him to something like that. But I think he is glad he's getting out. But saying that, he's getting $110 million just to talk like I'm doing. Where is my $110 million, Mr. Walker?
That is so true. And as I'm talking to you, I'm looking at the boob tube here, and it's raining going on at Arrowhead. So you're going to have some wet field conditions, at least to start the game. It may play havoc with the passing game. It could play havoc with special teams. So that's something to look at early on.
And to be perfectly honest, I think the Baltimore's rushing game is a little bit better than the Chiefs' rushing game. The passing game is the Chiefs are much better than Baltimore. But with Derrick Henry coming in, and they were saying that they were watching him work out, and it was scary. He looked like Jack Reacher, and And I'm telling you what. So, and I ended up getting him on my big fantasy football league. So I couldn't get Patrick Mahomes. So I got Derrick Henry. So,
Okay.
but
Okay. And now, but the key if is how John Harbaugh and his offensive coordinator decides to do this offense against the Chiefs. As you will remember, in the AFC Championship game, they went totally away from the run in the second half.
yeah,
Jackson was trying to match Mahomes pass by pass, and trust me, there is nobody in this league who can match Mahomes pass by pass. And it turned out to be a major detriment for the Ravens.
Oh, absolutely. It was kind of like, you remember Rocky when he was a left-handed southpaw puncher, and they tried to switch him to a right hand, and he did that in the beginning. Well, that was Baltimore in the second half. They were doing the right-handed punching and jabbing with the left hand instead of just punching, just brawling with the Chiefs, because you were right. Baltimore did not run it'd be like the Chiefs getting away from the pass that Patrick Mahomes is good at doing and running the ball all the second half. It just wasn't going to work.
No, not at all. So hopefully they looked at the tape, they learned from their lesson, and kind of stick to their bread and butter. Again, Derrick Henry over the past 5 years has rushed the ball over 2,000 times. He's coming up on getting 10,000 yards for his career. He is 30 years of age, but he is certainly not your average 30-year-old running back.
No, and usually when a running back turns 30 years old, you have to kind of bite your lip and hope for the best. But if he can stay healthy, he could probably play another 3 or 4 years. But he takes a lot of beating, and unfortunately, when you get older, man, it adds. And I'm telling you, we all agree, we keep getting a little bit older, and these young kids think that they can do everything, because that's what I thought when I was that age, and it just doesn't happen. So as long as he can stay in shape, I think he can do it another 3 or 4 years. But saying that, they are still looking up at the Chiefs, and until somebody takes it from the Chiefs ain't giving it up. Andy Reid is not going to do it, and neither is Patrick Mahomes. And those are the two guys that you would look to try to take it from, is the head coach and the quarterback.
Yeah, that is true. And on the podcast this week, I did my division rankings, and of course I had Chiefs number 1. And as the people say, if you want to be the man, you have to beat the man. And right now, there's nobody, I think, available to beat Patrick Mahomes at this particular portion in time. I was watching earlier on TV a guy that you watch quite regularly, Rich Eisen. I was watching his show, which is, by the way, he's doing his show live from Kansas City this week.
Nice.
And he predicted that the Chiefs would go all the way. He said he was hesitant because nobody has done this. Nobody has done the three-peat in the Super Bowl era. Obviously, the Packers did it a little bit prior to that. They won 2 Super Bowls in a row, and they did win an NFL championship in 65, so 65, 66, 67 for the NFL. But in terms of actually winning the Super Bowl 3 times, they did not do that in a row. But he said that, he was a little hesitant because we're in uncharted waters. Teams have tried before and have failed. But he said, hey, there's something magical about Mahomes. And so he went ahead and picked the Chiefs to three-peat. Also on his show, and this was yesterday, actor Rob Riggle, who is from Kansas City, big Chiefs fan, he said the Chiefs people see the Chiefs as an underdog going into this season.
That's fine. That's like telling Michael Jordan you're the underdog.
Yeah. Yeah, and everyone has said that Mahomes has that same type of assassin mentality like a Jordan and like a Kobe.
Oh,
It's like, okay, you gonna count me out? Okay, we
yep.
got you.
Yep, absolutely. So now the Chiefs are the ninth team to go back to back. The first one was the Packers. They missed the playoffs after the second championship. And then you had the 72-73 Dolphins. They lost to Oakland in the divisional playoffs. And then you had the 74-75 Steelers, who lost the AFC championship game to the Oakland Raiders. And that was Oakland Raiders' first championship game, if you remember, because they annihilated the Minnesota Vikings. And then the 78-79 Steelers, they missed the playoffs. Then you had the 88-89 49ers, and they ended up losing to the New York Giants in the NFC Championship game. And then you had the Dallas Cowboys in 92-93. They lost the next year in the the NFC Championship game to the San Francisco 49ers. And if you remember that, they lost their coach, which probably was the most important piece, because you had Barry Switzer, and
Yeah.
and so it was just a little bit more difficult. But they ended up winning 2 or 3 out of 4, just like the Chiefs have done. They've won 3 out of 4. And then you had the Broncos, who the next year lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars after going back to back. And then you had the Patriots, who lost the divisional playoffs to the Denver Broncos, and then they beat Jacksonville, and then they lost to the Denver Broncos. So right now, I just don't see anybody can beat them. There are teams that can play possibly up to the Chiefs, but they cannot succeed them. And even though Cincinnati is really the only team that has beaten Patrick Mahomes, because the New England Patriots with Tom Brady is no longer in existence. You can't consider this year's New England Patriots with the one that was in 2018 that beat the Rams in the Super Bowl and Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game.
Oh, not hardly. In my predictions, I have the Patriots last in the AFC East.
Oh, absolutely. So saying this, who do you have in the East?
Okay, in the East, I have Miami winning the division. Tua has his money. Mike McDaniel, the head coach, has a new contract extension. I think Hill's contract got restructured, so he got a couple extra dollars. They're getting more healthy. It seems that Tua has more confidence. The team has more confidence in him. And so I think they have the horses to win the division. The key thing is they definitely have to get home field advantage for the playoffs, at least for one game, because you saw what happened when they came to KC last year. And historically, Miami doesn't play well on the road in cold weather. And so they definitely need at least one game of home field advantage in the playoffs. But I have Miami number 1, Buffalo number 2, the Jets 3, and the Patriots 4.
Okay. Yeah, I've got Buffalo, and then I've got Miami. So when we do these, just give me the names, because we're going to have to do the predictions for tonight's game and tomorrow night's game, which is the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles in Brazil, which a lot of players are really not really wanting to go to Brazil due to the fact of safety. But I don't know how safety out there is any different than safety here when you hear kids and teachers getting killed in schools. But that's another subject, another time. So anyway,
so true.
AFC North.
Baltimore, Cincinnati, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh.
I've got Baltimore. I have Cincinnati. I have Pittsburgh, and then Cleveland.
How?
As long as Deshaun Watson is the quarterback, I don't have faith in him. He's going to have to show me. I'm from the show me state. You got to show me.
I don't know whether you heard this today. Russell Wilson was limited in
Yes.
practice
Yep.
due to his calf soreness.
Right.
So I don't know what that means for Sunday. Justin Fields is just not a great quarterback. I'm sorry.
Well,
So
neither is Russell Wilson.
So
So
that's true. Yeah,
he's
so
just an
pick your
old.
poison.
He's an older version of Justin Fields. So AFC South.
South, Houston, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, and Tennessee.
I agree, except for I think Jacksonville is second and Indianapolis is third.
This needs to be a breakout year for Trevor Lawrence. He's really got to step it up.
Yeah. Yes, he does. So, and he got his money, so he does definitely need to step up. Okay, in the West, I've got Kansas City. Any difference?
No.
Okay, so now the NFC East.
NFC East, Philadelphia, Dallas, Giants, Washington.
I've got Philadelphia too. It'll be another year that the East will not win back-to-back, or someone will not win back-to-back division titles.
Right.
But Dallas will be second. The South.
Buccaneers, Falcons, Saints, Panthers.
Try that one more time. I'm sorry.
Buccaneers,
Okay.
Falcons, Saints, Panthers.
Okay, I had to make sure that I heard that right because I was like, really? Did he just say that? I think the Falcons and then Tampa Bay, it'll be close, and then New Orleans and Carolina will be fighting for the bottom.
It depends on Kirk Cousins and how well he adjusts with his repaired ACL.
Yep, absolutely. The NFC North.
Green Bay, Detroit, Chicago, Minnesota.
Okay. I like Green Bay. I think they're going to be improving, but I'm gonna stick with Detroit. I'm gonna go Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago, Minnesota. And here's the thing: if Detroit does not do it this year, get over the hump and make it to the Super Bowl, I don't know how much longer it will take. I think the Detroit Lions are the NFC Buffalo Bills.
They could be. They very much could be. And the key is not the talent, it's the coach, Dan Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
Very good coach.
Yep.
A great motivator, but this going for it for fourth down is going to bite him more if he continues to do it.
Absolutely. NFC West.
San Francisco, Rams, Seattle, Arizona.
I agree. I know San Francisco is probably not the team that they were last year, but the Rams are not going to overtake them. So I've got San Francisco and I've got the Rams. And the surprise team could be Arizona. So, but still, they're third, and then you got Seattle. So they'll be fighting for the bottom. So,
yeah, if Kyler Murray grows up, first of all, if he grows up mentally, that will help. And secondly, he has to stay healthy. And number three, he just has to perform. Basically, he's been a disappointment.
Yep. If he can become, with Marvin Harrison Jr., kind of like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, that could be a deadly combination. So we are.
I agree.
Yep, absolutely. So, I have the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. I have the Chiefs beating the Detroit Lions. Who do you have?
I think he may be a repeat. Kansas City and San Francisco.
Gotcha. So we are getting near the end. So now we're going to do the predictions. So Matt Gershon is going to do predictions with me. And yes, I do a prediction show on Sunday, but I am only doing today's game and tomorrow's game. And so I'm doing Max's and Coach 24. Coach 24 also gave me his predictions today when I was texting him today. So Coach 24 has picked the Chiefs and he has picked the Packers. Max has done the same thing. He picked the Chiefs, and I believe it was like 37-20, and then the Packers beating the Eagles something like 28-24.
Okay, first going to tomorrow night's game, I think Philadelphia 28, Green Bay 17. And as far as tonight's game is concerned, it looks like the weather has cleared up. Chiefs 31, Baltimore 21.
Cool. All right, so now it's my turn. I've got Kansas City. I think it's going to be a little bit lower. Usually at the beginning of the year, you either have a super low score or a super high score, one of the two. I think it's going to be similar, a little bit similar to the AFC Championship game, except for a few more points scored. Kansas City 21-17, and then I have Philadelphia beating the Green Bay Packers, and I'm going to pick 21-17 in that game too. So
Okay. All right, that sounds good. By the way, for your listeners, kickoff for tonight's game has been pushed back 20 minutes. Kickoff scheduled for 7:40.
All right, fans, did you hear that? 7:40 is now the kickoff time, not 7:20. So if you need to go get don't go get a pizza because it will be about 5 hours before you get one. But if you want to run to the store real super fast, I would do it right now. So
Yes. Yes, if you need to get your adult beverage, whether it's a 6 or a 12, go right now.
absolutely, absolutely. Marvin, it was awesome. Thank you for coming on to the show. Marvin Durant with his podcast On the Record with the Awesome Voice. He is on Spotify. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
I don't want to add, we have a new episode up that I recorded late last night. So it is up, so listen to it. And next week, the Awesome Voice will return to the program, I would assume.
Yes, I will be back. I'm not on vacation anymore.
Okay, that sounds good. And we'll cook up something, and it'll be very good.
Absolutely. So with Coach 24, my brother with another mother, Darwin Penny, we've got DJ Scatter, George Walker running the show, and I am Brian Kress, the Awesome Voice. Be awesome, not angry, and you guys have yourself a phenomenal Chiefs victory sports weekend. KUAW. Love you guys.